Change your thoughts and you change your world. That sounds great, doesn't it? All I've got to do is change my thoughts. Like it's that easy. Changing one's thoughts is not easy because often we don't even understand. We're not even conscious of the origin of where our thoughts come from. They sort of pop into our head, and we can think, oh, that came from a very deep part of me. It's my intuition. It's some deep part of me. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. But often it can be something very simple that led to a chain of thoughts that led to wherever you are at. Like there's a process in the meditation training I teach where you do this thing of tracking your thoughts. So once you discover that you're thinking, you kind of go, what was the thought that led to that thought? And you go back one. And then what was the thought that led to that thought? You go back one. And you keep going back till you find what the original source of the train of thought was. It's not easy to do. It takes a bit of practice to be able to do it. I mean, it takes practice just to be able to hear yourself thinking, meaning, you've turned off the pictures, you've turned off the sound, you're not thinking, and then suddenly you're thinking again, but you don't know you're thinking again until a certain point, and then you go, hang on a minute, I'm in the middle of meditation, and you stop the train. So tracking back your thoughts. So you might have this wonderful, beautiful, mystical thought of like, oh wow, that just totally came from the deep part of me. It's like it's a big intuition. I'm not saying it's not, but when you're used to tracking thoughts backwards, you often find that those thoughts, the origin of them is like a car door banging 3 houses down, or a drop of rain, or some little external stimulus triggered a train of thoughts that have led to these kind of thoughts. So this idea of like change your thoughts and change the world, it sounds great and it's true, but it's not easy. It's not simple. It's like when people first hear about manifestation, or when The Secret came out, oh my God, it was like, all you have to do. And of course, everybody did all you have to do, and they weren't manifesting nothing close to what they wanted to manifest. And they were like, oh, I must be doing it wrong. And yeah, I suppose technically you were doing it wrong, but really, are you doing it wrong? Or is it just it's the way it's presented is overly simplistic? Because, in terms of manifestation, if you want to know where you're at with manifestation, you just have to look around. Like if you want to be a millionaire, just look around. That's wherever you're at, financially, that's your level of manifestation. And it didn't happen by accident. It's all the product of your thinking. Now, your thinking you might not be conscious of it. In fact, you're pretty much guaranteed you're not conscious of it because they've done tests. I don't know how they even test this, but apparently like 95% of our thoughts are unconscious. They're the things that create what we want. So to be able to begin to change those unconscious things, that takes a bit of reflection. It takes a lot of meditation, and it takes a bit of finding ways to get the unconscious conscious, so that we can hear the subtle beliefs that we have that are creating what we see. So the idea of I think it's very helpful to recognize, if I change my thinking, then my world will change. And that is true, and I've seen that in my own experience in miraculous ways. But it's not like a light switch. It's not like you can just go, oh, okay, I'm tired of that way of thinking. Let me just flick the light switch and I'll just think in a completely different way. It doesn't work like that. Not in my experience. Because, as I say, most of it is unconscious. So you have to sort of tease it out. You have to sort of get it to come out of the dark and reveal itself, which requires a lot of understanding and compassion. Because if, let's say you want to become a millionaire, and you can kind of get a whiff of a belief, and then the belief comes a little bit forward, and it's like, I'm not worthy of being a millionaire. If you immediately go, well, that's ridiculous, of course I'm worthy of being a millionaire, that it would just recede back into the thing. It won't change, You'll just have driven it back in. So you have to, like, there's a lot of compassion required, and you really have to listen to what's going on the inside with a lot of with no judgment. Judgment just seems to drive them further away, and often they don't come out of the woodwork or out of the dark with any great ease. It requires a lot of gentle coaxing and doing all sorts of different processes and listening to other people who are good at the thing you want to do, like if it's manifestation, listening to them, seeing what they're being around that energy, lots of different things. So a meme like this, change your thoughts and you'll change the world. It's true, but it requires a lot of kindness to yourself. That's the ultimate kind of thing I'm heading towards. But I need to step forward in that direction in a very gentle way.